Hey YouTube, what is going on? Running Gun Sports back here with another video. Today is our Green Bay Packers off-season review. Very interesting team to talk about for the Green Bay Packers, and we're excited to talk about it. And with that being said, if you guys have not already, please leave a like down below on this video or any other video that you watch. Subscribe to our channel and follow our social media pages at runningun_sports on Instagram and at runningunsports on TikTok. And with that being said, still NBA playoffs going on. The Milwaukee Bucks were defeated by the Atlanta Hawks on Tuesday night, 110 to 88. And then on Wednesday night, the Phoenix Suns defeated the Los Angeles Clippers 130 to 103 to close out the series for the to send the Suns to the playoffs, winning 4 games to 2, winning that series. So the Suns are in the playoffs. Very interesting, great season for the Suns, and I'm excited to see what they'll do in the next or in the finals. And I'm rooting for them. As I've mentioned before, I'm a Warriors fan myself, but would not mind seeing the Suns win. A huge Devin Booker fan, and would like to see Chris Paul get a ring as well. And we'll see who the team representing the Eastern Conference will be, whether it will be the Hawks or Bucks. On Thursday, just yesterday, the Milwaukee Bucks defeated the Atlanta Hawks 123 to 112. Milwaukee leads the series 3 games to 2, and then on Saturday night, the Milwaukee Bucks will face the Atlanta Hawks in what could be the final series of the the final game of the series, and if needed, they will play on Monday, Game 7, and then Friday, July 23rd, I believe, will be Game 1 of the NBA Finals. So, with that being said, let's get right into the video with the Green Bay Packers. Their 2020 record was 13-3. Only one loss was to playoff teams. That was the Colts, and they had first round bye. Aaron Rodgers, incredible season, MVP season, literally, and he had a great season. And the Packers is one of those teams where obviously they had a great season, and it's overlooked for the fact that we all thought that the Packers were really going to have a shot to play in the Super Bowl, and I really thought they were going to face off versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I thought it was going to be the Packers versus Chiefs, and I think that really the Packers underperformed and got blown out by the Buccaneers. And it's unfortunate, but it happens. And it's one of those teams you look at, and there's teams that lose in the playoffs, but you're like they have a bright future, like the Los Angeles Rams, for example. They lost in the playoffs, but I still think that they have a bright future, and they'll definitely be back next season. And they have a tough division to play in, but I still think that they will figure out a way to be back in the playoffs with that in defense. The Kansas City Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl. Everyone knows that the Chiefs will be back in the Super Bowl probably next year, is my guess. And so I think that that's one of those things where it's the Packers, on the other hand, is they don't look like that team where they're guaranteed to be back next year. And I don't think their division has anything to do with it. The division they're in is not very strong right now. Chicago Bears is trending down. The Vikings, they're mediocre. They're not really a playoff team. They've been decently close, but they won't probably make the playoffs. And then you have the Detroit Lions, who have somewhat of a bright future, but they have a long ways to go to becoming a playoff football team. But the Packers, on the other hand, is one of those teams where I just the no the no potential slash hope, as I was using an example for those teams that that will be back next year. I think that the Packers don't have that, and it's one reason: Aaron Rodgers. And I think that it's just, really frustrating the fact that the Packers have lost, I believe, 4 straight NFC championships. That's just devastating to be 1 game away from a Super Bowl. And I think that Aaron Rodgers, I don't know how many years he has left in the tank, but it's hard to believe he has only won 1 Super Bowl, and that was a while back too. And I think that Aaron Rodgers definitely is a very talented player, deserves more than at least one Super Bowl, but is the Green Bay Packers the team that's going to get it done for him? And I don't think so. And I think that, Aaron Rodgers had an incredible season last year, a remarkable season. 4,299 yards, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 84.4 QBR. I mean, his QBR, touchdowns, and interceptions all ranked first in the league, and ranked seventh in yards at 4,300 passing yards, just 1 yard short of it, is not bad at all either. And I think that, being a top 10 quarterback in the NFL and any stat is impressive, but Aaron Rodgers being one and his worst being yardage and being seventh is not a bad stat at all, and it helps him. If you're trying to make a case for Aaron Rodgers being a elite quarterback, there's no case to be made. Everyone knows he's an elite quarterback, but that just proves it even more. And I think that really you look at all these teams in the playoffs, right? And you look at the teams that went far, the Chiefs and the Buccaneers, obviously the two teams in the Super Bowl. Those were the teams that had obviously they had great offenses. That was really their headliner. But at the same time, what did they have that the Packers and the Buffalo Bills did not have, the two teams to make it to their conference championship and lose? They had a great defense. And the Buccaneers especially, and I still think that the Chiefs, yes, they had a bad game on defense in the Super Bowl, and teams are going to have bad games, and it's really unfortunate when you have your worst game in the Super Bowl. But I think that if it wasn't for that Super Bowl, everyone would be regarding the Chiefs as a good defensive team, and the stats say that they're a good defensive team still. And that's what's hurting the Packers. The Green Bay Packers, their defense is okay. It's not great. They ranked 13th in total team defense. But the Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs are way higher than that. And that's why they are competing in the Super Bowl. You gotta have a complete team. You can't have just a insane offense. We saw that with the Chiefs this year. Example A, with Patrick Mahomes, obviously, and the Chiefs, the best offense in the league, but they didn't have a good defense. I mean, they had a good defense, but it wasn't as good as the Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers, the only reason they made it so far is because we saw them struggle a lot, and their defense really kept them in some games that they really shouldn't have been in, and it helped them out big time, and especially versus a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. But when the offense doesn't do well for the Buccaneers, which is rarely, the defense was there to back them up, and they did a great job of that. Why they it's exactly why they won the Super Bowl, and hats off to them. Bruce Arians has a great coaching staff there, and right now they're my team to win the Super Bowl, and I think that they're going to have a great next couple of seasons with that team, and considering the fact that 22 of 22 starters are returning, that is insanely scary for the rest of the NFL and the rest of the football league. But another reason why I don't think Aaron Rodgers is very is able to make the Super Bowl is I think that his receiving core outside of Davante Adams is mediocre, below average. It's not that good. And, Davante Adams is arguably the best receiver in the league. I think it's between him and Hopkins right now. Julio Jones is the best receiver in the league, if healthy, in my opinion. But in between those two guys, Hopkins and Adams, I don't know which one's better. They're different place type of guys, different receiving types, and they're both great receivers at the end of the day. And you gotta respect that. But I don't see the relationship that Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers have that Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen have. And Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, I think, is the best wide receiver quarterback duo in the league. And the receiving core behind them is not that good, but that duo is so good. The chemistry is there, you can tell, but I don't see that well with Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. And I think that's another reason why the Packers aren't as good as they really could be and as they should be. and that's another reason why I think they didn't do as well as they could have this year. And moving on to the free agency, they lost a couple of key players. Really a quiet free agency overall for them, and but they picked up a couple of other players, but a very quiet free agency. We'll start out with their losses. Corey Linsley, center to the Chargers. Very bad loss for that team, especially considering Aaron Rodgers, your MVP quarterback, who is threatening to leave your team, and he's frustrated with the team. And what is the worst thing to do in that situation but to, I don't know, let your center go, your star center go, your starting center? That's just a horrible move and unfortunate. The Chargers, Justin Herbert, pick him up, a huge pickup for the Chargers and a great move in my opinion. And I think it's going to be exciting to see what Justin Herbert and Corey Linsley will do. Corey Linsley is going to protect Justin Herbert. We won't see any season-ending injuries. And, great pick by the Chargers. Terrible move by the Packers. They also lost linebacker Christian Kirksey to the Texans. So basically, a defense that already isn't that good loses one of their better players to a team that is not going to probably win a football game next year. That is just questionable by the front office. And, there's some terrible moves being made by the Packers. Jamal Williams running back to the Lions isn't the worst move. They have A.J. Dillon, and obviously Aaron Jones. So I think that they're fine there. But really, I don't know some of these moves. But then there's some moves that we'll talk about in just a couple of seconds that make a lot of sense. And so the front office seems to know what they're doing, but they also don't seem to know what they're doing at the same time. I mean, they're making good decisions, but they're compounding them with possibly worse decisions, and that's going to hurt them a lot in the long run, especially the defense and the protection for their star quarterback. And they gained Devondre Campbell, linebacker from the Cardinals. Not a bad move at all. Good move, in my opinion. And then they also gained quarterback Blake Bortles from the Rams. That's red flag for Packers fans. Also picked up Ben Kirk, another quarterback from the Falcons. So, maybe there's a quarterback competition going on for Aaron Rodgers, and we'll see what happens. But moving on to the draft, talking about the front office again. First round of the draft. This is the exact day, I remind you, that Aaron Rodgers said that he does not want to return to the Packers, and then just a few days or weeks later, he also said that it's either they either fire the general manager or Aaron Rodgers leaves. We got only a couple months left till the season starts back up, and nothing's happened yet. And Aaron Rodgers has not been to any of the Packers practices, I believe. But the first round draft pick, they select Eric Stokes, cornerback from Georgia. And in my opinion, this is just a terrible, terrible, terrible pick. And Eric Stokes, not even a first round talent. Yes, he can run a 4.3 40, but does it mean he can cover guys? Does it mean he can play zone? Does it mean he can play man? Does it mean he can read well? No. Eric Stokes is not a first round talent, and the fact that they pick him in the first round after Aaron Rodgers has mentioned he does not want to return to your team, and you know for a fact that the Packers are not just going to say, well, let's just let him go. No, not at all. He's an MVP quarterback. He's the reigning MVP of the National Football League. And that's just the most questionable move possibly in the draft. But the Packers are huge on, you know, huge on questionable moves, especially in the draft. When Aaron Rodgers has joined the team with the Packers, they've only selected one offensive player since Aaron Rodgers has been on the team. That one offensive player was Jordan Love, quarterback, just last year. So, just questionable move from the Packers front office. I hate the Eric Stokes pick. He's not a first-round talent. They don't really... Yes, they need a cornerback, but Eric Stokes would have been available in the second round, maybe even the third round if we're being honest. And that's what just confused me big time. And I'm just dumbfounded by that. And Packers front office, not sure what's going to happen. But, we have some other good picks here. In the second round, they picked up Josh Myers from Ohio State, center. That's a good move in my opinion, and I like it a lot. Only because they have to replace Corey Linsley. Is he going to be as good as Corey Linsley? I don't know, but good pickup and good draft pick. And so this is why I think that they seem to know somewhat what they're doing. Not all that what they're doing, but that's a good pick. And rare to see from the Green Bay Packers. In the third round, this is a pick I really like, and a guy that really is going to be underrated and a steal in the draft, in my opinion. Amari Rodgers, wide receiver from Clemson. Really under the radar type of guy. Big college football, or a big college guy in his junior season. Didn't really have the senior season he wanted, but he showed out in the Senior Bowl. I was really impressed with him. He did very well with quarterback Kellen Mond of the Vikings now. And so I think that that's a good pickup for them. And I like that move a lot. And it's going to help the receiving core. I think he'll probably start compared to the other wide receivers on the Packers. And that's a good pick, in my opinion. They also picked up Shamar Jean-Charles, cornerback from Appalachian State. Another good pickup for that team. And, I like it a lot, adding depth to that backfield, that defensive backfield that was not the strongest, but decently strong, but adding depth is always a good thing. And in the seventh round, another pick that I like, Kylan Hill, running back from Mississippi State, adding even more depth to that backfield, and that's a big move in my opinion, and I like it a lot. Kylan Hill is going to be a steal as well if he can pan out in the NFL, which I really think he will do that. He was very solid at Mississippi State. So moving on to our 2021 projection, this is one of the projections that was very tough to make. And why that is because Aaron Rodgers, the uncertainty of him being there next year. The Packers lose a you know, ton of their wins if they don't have Aaron Rodgers. But I think that with Aaron Rodgers, they'll go 11-5, and I think that that's generous. And I think that Aaron Rodgers on the team next year, if he is there, won't be happy, and it's just he won't have a great season, and it's just going to be not that good of a season for the Packers. They'll make the playoffs just because they are not the greatest division, but it's the reason I think that they won't do that well is just I think Aaron Rodgers is just going to be over that team, and those guys aren't going to want to block for a guy who doesn't want to play for them, and it's just going to be they're going to lose some games that they really should win. But without Aaron Rodgers, who knows who's going to be the quarterback for that team, but I have them going to 5-11. So that will wrap it up for today's video. If you guys have not already, please leave a like down below, subscribe, share this with your friends, follow our social media pages at runandgun_sports on Instagram and at runandgunsports on TikTok. Have a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching.